Hey there folks, niXcraft here. Welcome back to another episode of Surviving with niXcraft. We are in episode 22 today, and I just wanted to start off by updating you guys on what's been happening on the streams. If you could see right there, we've got our villagers back now. On our past stream, I went over to the villager breeder, decided I was going to go to the little dark oak forest there and harvest up some logs, and here's our new friend here to sell us mending. Now, he doesn't have as good of a trade as before. I think it was 10 emeralds on our last guy, but 16 is not bad at all, and he is now named Mendy. So we have him in place, and we have our Unbreaking 3 guy. Should be up here somewhere. There he is, standing on his lectern. 23 emeralds for Unbreaking, so that is not that bad at all. Something else we did on stream here was actually building up our Nether Hub. So here we are, and I think it came out super cool. My only complaint with it is I think I would want to extend this room out a little bit. Maybe I'll do that off camera. But this came out so cool. We've got the, what is this, basalt going up here? I almost forgot the name for it. Blackstone on the walls and a little bit of nether bricks going on. And this cool little quartz platform here supporting our portal. This is awesome. So this is something we've been doing on stream. Oh no, there's a fox in the nether. Nether fox, welcome. Anyways, this long hallway down here actually leads to the stronghold. Now, I said in that episode that I wasn't going to put a portal down there, but I decided against that. I figured I might as well go all directions over here at the Nether Hub to build those ice roads. So that's something I'll be doing more on stream. Hello, Fox. But there's something else as well. I actually did this off camera, but if we come down our main hallway over here, and here's the design I'm planning for these hallways, maybe different colors for each direction, but I'm not too sure on that yet. Either way, if we keep going down this way, we will find a new hallway that leads over to the Nether Fortress. Coming up along here, if you take this left, that is our starter base portal over there, and it keeps going this way about, I don't know, 600-700 blocks maybe? Just down this scaffolding here is access to the lower Nether. Now, hopefully there's no gas waiting to blow me up down here. Oh, of course there is. Oh boy, I fell. But don't blow me up, buddy. It's okay. I got him. Boom. There's 3 gas down here, which is fantastic. This was a great start, but I got all 3 of them. One shot. That's right, baby. Anyways, so here we are in the main Nether, and I'm back here at the Nether Fortress because I wanted to find some soul sand for today's build. I got a little bit of it, but I'm pretty sure there's a soul sand valley around here somewhere, and if not, I'll be able to find some just over around here in the Nether. This is dangerous though. So I'm going to explore around a little bit. Hopefully I can find some, and we will get back to the overworld for today's project. Here we go. This looks familiar. I believe this is how we access the Nether Fortress in the first Nether episode, but I'm definitely going to have to figure out a way to get all the way over there. Not too sure about that. So yeah, let's get this soul sand. A bit of quartz and a few ghast explosions later, we have ourselves almost 2 stacks of soul sand here. So today's project, I'm thinking we use a little video from one of my favorite creators, Pixlriff, and we make ourselves a Nether Fungus farm. And it's going to be Nether Fungus and sprouts as well. Unfortunately, the only type of nylium that I have is this warped nylium. You could do it with both warped and crimson to get both the warped fungus and the regular crimson as well as both of the nether foliage types that you can get. But unfortunately, all I could do is warped. So let's get started on this build. This farm is definitely going to require a lot of bone meal and is basically a flower farm. So the idea is you can bone meal the nylium here and then get these little sprouts that are coming up, and also the roots and these little mushrooms. And on the warped nylium, you do have a chance to actually get crimson mushrooms as well. But this farm is basically a flower farm, and I will be able to use this to get all sorts of nether materials. Now, it works on pistons moving the blocks back and forth, and that will actually drop everything as items. Except those little sprouts that I was just bone mealing. These little guys, yeah, they won't drop, but the tall ones will. So yeah, let's clear out an area to build this thing. I'm thinking it would be a good idea to keep this nether-themed farm by our nether portal over here. So my plan to place this farm is to just kind of clear out some layers of this little hill that's next to our portal, and we'll make a nice little path up to it and just kind of give some space for this farm. But I also want to surround it with some nether wart growing. That's why I grabbed all that soul sand at the beginning, and also a nice little area to grow those little nether funguses up into the tall mushroom trees. So let me clear out some space here to get started. Now that we have plenty of space over here, we can get started with the farm. I've got some materials on me here, not really in exact quantities. If you're looking for a better tutorial on this farm here, I will link Pixlriff's video in the description. Once again, big shout out to him for the farm, and make sure to check out that video and his channel for a bunch of cool tutorials. But let's get started on this thing. We'll find the middle, which I think will be like, I don't know, about here maybe. Put a block down and a dispenser facing up like this. So that right there will be full of bone meal, and there will be a platform of nylium going across like this, and that's how we will grow the nether foliage up there. So we could also grab some observers here and a sticky piston, and we can make our little observer clock that we've made before. So we'll put that down here, an observer facing that way, and I guess we'll just use this dirt like that to put the observer facing the other way. So just like that, and now if we stick a lever down, that should be the clock to activate the dispenser. Perfect. Laying down some stone brick here for our redstone. We can come over here, grab some repeaters, some redstone dust, and these pistons. And we can come over here, and sticking out of both sides of this dispenser will be a repeater. Oop, repeater right there, not right there. And this will send a redstone signal out when this dispenser is full of bone meal, or dispensing bone meal, I mean. And we will run a redstone line going like this, and it's actually going to be going into repeaters that are going into this block here. And that should, in turn, power the pistons. And basically what's going to happen here is the little platform of nylium up top is going to be shifted back and forth by these pistons while being bone mealed, and that will cause all the fungus and the sprouts and the roots to just be shot off the blocks, and it will be perfect. So let me get this in on both sides here, and I'll get back to you. Now we can head over and build our nylium platform here, and basically, oops, gotta crouch here. Basically we want to place these just leaving one block of space between the pistons. So this way it will shift back and forth and be able to bone meal the entire platform. Now ideally we would have some crimson nylium as well, but I didn't find a crimson forest yet, I don't think, although I did in that long hallway that I just showed you guys in the nether that I had built on stream. I found a hoglin spawning in one of those, so that means there has to be a crimson forest somewhere, but I'll just have to go down in the nether to find it. But here's our platform, and before nighttime here I'll show you a little example of these pistons moving it back and forth. Something like that. Now because Bedrock is a little bit buggier than Java, it'll end all crooked like this just because the pistons and the redstone is just slower and stuff, but that's okay, it'll still work the same. Coming now to the back side of the farm, I've got some hoppers on me here, and we can connect these up to the dispenser and put a little chest up top to put the bone meal into, and eventually fill that dispenser without having to go back there. Eventually I would want to put a nice build around this. Not too sure yet what I'm thinking, but also if you come around to this side, I want to put another hopper into this chest. Now this was my favorite part of the farm. The little roots that grow on the nylium here can actually be bone mealed in a composter. So if you put one of these setups right here, with the chest coming on top, let's see if I can get this, boom, just like that. We can feed the roots up into this chest, which will go into the composter, and then into this chest, which will then feed the dispenser. We could also just come up here and manually fill it with bone meal because we have a skeleton spawner. But yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of the farm. Shout out to Pixlriff again, this is genius. Got our dispenser full of bone meal, and I think with the rest of these bones, I'm just going to throw them in this chest here so it stays nice and fueled up. But we will demonstrate the farm here. Hopefully everything works out. This is a whole lot of bone meal, but that is perfect. This thing will be fueled up for a minute. And you know what? We have all the bone meal in the world, so that is just fine. So let me fill this thing up, so that will be running forever. And let's give this thing a test, shall we? Now I'll run it for a second. It'll be pretty loud, but as you guys can see, we are getting a few funguses and a bunch of the roots. It's a little laggy and weird, so I don't really run it for too long. But there we go. So let's go up here and see what we got. And we got some oh, whoa, I just took some damage, but that's weird. We got some crimson funguses and a whole bunch of warped. 49 warped funguses. This thing is awesome. And all the roots here that we have on us, like I said, we could just run into this chest and they will be bone mealed up. But I think I want to keep some of them. They're pretty cool for decorations. But yeah, that is the farm, guys. Now I think we need to cover up some of this redstone here, make this thing accessible, not just some scaffolding up front like this. And let's bring in some nether blocks to make this thing look cool. Coming in here with a little polished blackstone staircase. I think we could grab these polished basalt blocks and come up here with make some little pillars like this on either side of the staircase, and that should be good so far. Other than this, I really have no idea. I did bring some of this warp stem with us, and I think it'd be cool to use this because that's what I'm mainly farming over here. One of the main reasons I'm making this farm is because I'm going to use some of this warp stem on the storage building over there, so I figured let's farm it up now so we can get that episode done sooner rather than later. But yeah, let me think some more about this. I think that looks pretty cool. We just leave the regular stem texture like that coming along the bottom. Let's see, I'll have to run it into the ground like this. But yeah, just stretching up to the top here, and then connect it in just so we don't see the swirly texture of the logs. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Yeah, it's nighttime. Quick progress update on this build here. I've been loving these warp trapdoors here. I'm going to put them on the top of these beams on the corners, I think, just to give them a bit more structure. But these are going to be the sides of the farm here, and I just absolutely love how this looks. These trapdoors make everything, and the nice depth of the stairs is really cool too. So I think we could run these trapdoors just all the way along, back up to here, creating a nice trim. Let's get that in on this side as well. And on the staircase here, I'll show you guys what I came up with too. Got some of the warped fences going on, and a little trapdoor here to cover up our lever. But this is looking really cool, guys. I like this. At first I was worried it was looking a little flat with just that, but the sides of this, I think coming up from this angle, are going to look really cool. And all that soul sand that I gathered, we're going to be surrounding this with some soul sand and some nether wart growing, so give it a nice blue, purple, and red contrast. I think it's going to look awesome. So let me get some more of this done, and I'll bring you guys back in when we're looking pretty good here. So here is how the farm is looking so far, and I gotta say, guys, this is really cool. I think something I do want to add, though, is a little area to grow the trees right over here on the side. I've got some blackstone on me, some blackstone bricks. I think we could just kind of do like, it's going to be a little 3x3 of nylium. We'll say we'll put it right here. So let's start with like a staircase right there, and then just kind of surround this thing in the blackstone bricks. Maybe I'll put some slabs up here to give it a little arch. But this will just be a little area where we could grow a tree, and it won't be in the way of any of this farming stuff over here. I'll have to add some storage around, maybe in the back. And speaking of the back too, there's a redstone access door back here. I didn't know if I really needed to show you guys that, but it's here. So yeah, that's my plans so far. And then the next step, I think, is going to be terraforming this land again, taking the leaves away and stuff, making the hill look a little bit nicer, and adding in all of that nether wart. So that is the plan for me, and let's do it. Coming in here and just dotting around some of these warped roots around the place. I think that brings the nether to the overworld. That is the whole theme for this build, I think. So just a few of these, not too crazy because most of this grass is going to end up soul sand with some nether wart on it anyways. But I had a good idea. So we have kind of an empty spot next to our farm, and I farmed up all this warp stem. I think it'd be a super cool idea to build us a custom nether tree right here between our nether portal and the farm. So we could just kind of stick it in here, and when I eventually find crimson, maybe another one in the back sticking up over there. But I think that sounds like a fun idea, something I've never done before. So maybe let's try it out. Just flattening this hill out a little bit up top. I don't want to change the land too much because I think it'd be cool to build the tree on this sort of angle here. So let me grab some stem here. And I think it'd be cool to sort of have some trunks and branches sort of just sticking out of the ground in different places. So we could start one here, maybe put one down there as well. And I don't know, start another trunk maybe right here. And all of these will kind of twist up and converge into a bigger tree that'll, sort of the middle trunk will sit right here. So that's the plan, and I'm not exactly too sure how to execute it. So let me see if I could put something together here, and I'll be right back. Oh yeah, that is definitely a start. I am liking that. So those 3 trunks will just converge into the middle. I'm not going to go up too high, but then I'm going to start branching out and using some of this warped wart block, that's tough to say, and some of these shroom lights as well. And I think we can put together something pretty cool, and maybe have it sort of overhanging both the portal and the farm just a little bit, because we're not going to be growing any trees there, so we could have a little overhang. But yeah. Hey cat, you like this build too, don't you? Okay, I think I have the trunk of the tree in to my liking. I still have to mix in some shroom lights up there right at the top, and maybe in some of the branches coming out too, but yeah, I think that's looking pretty cool, guys. And it's definitely gonna take shape once it's got the canopy over it with the wart blocks, so I think it's time to get that in. And then the terraforming on the outside, like I said, with the soul sand and nether wart, and maybe some shroom lights mixed in around in the ground as well. But let's finish this thing up and see how we could do. So far, I think I'm doing it. Just dumping everything here in my patented double chest in the middle of the pathway. But we have our zombie pigman. Anyways, we have our finished custom tree, guys, and I gotta say I am loving this thing. It's pretty much the first custom tree I've done. I don't really do these too often, so for my standards I think this is beautiful, and this zombie piglin seems to love it as well. So next step is planting the soul sand down around in little patches around this grass and farming up some nether wart, and then we are ready to check out the final build. Alright folks, it has been a long time because I was waiting for some nether wart to grow in, but we are about ready to debut the final nether fungus farm build, and I'm just absolutely loving it. So right in front of us here is the final product, and guys, this is just beautiful. I am loving this area now. It is all coming together. So I added a little bit of fences here on our custom tree just to kind of make it form together a bit more, maybe look like little branches coming out. And the nether wart scattered around here is just so awesome. It looks so fantasy and mythical. I love it. So we can come up here and use the farm whenever we need to. The only situation is when we do turn this on, these trapdoors over here end up opening and closing because of the redstone signal, but you know what, I could live with that. I'll just close them up if I need to. But if we come over to this side, there's a little pathway leading up to where we could bone meal these mushrooms, and I could debut that for you guys. Over here's some storage too. I've got extra funguses and bone meal in here, and all the warped wart blocks that I'm going to end up using. So let's take some bone meal and bone meal a tree, see what we get here. Look at that. So we have a little area to grow them up here, store some extra bone meal, and this place is just looking awesome. And I think it finishes up this area very well. And yeah, hope you guys like it as well. So that's going to do it for me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. I definitely did. This build came out amazing. For the next few episodes, I am going to be working on the storage building, I think. And it's going to be a two-parter because it's going to be a huge build. This area behind me will be transformed, all the trees gone, and it will be pretty tall. So we'll be working on that in 2 episodes, and then I'm thinking about a little world tour after that. And then it is Ender Dragon time. So I appreciate all you guys for watching as always. Make sure to leave a like on the video and a comment. Love to hear what you guys think about this build. And be sure to tell your friends and subscribe and all of that, and follow my Twitch. And yeah, sorry about that, guys. I got excited. Thanks again for watching. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll see you in the next one.